Thank you so much for coming through tonight on Game On. It's a pleasure to see you again. And as you can imagine, we're absolutely delighted with how Victor Osimhen has done. But, you know, we had you early on in the season last year. But are you surprised by just how well Victor Osimhen has done? The records are incredible. 36 goals in 40 matches. That's astonishing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, good evening to Nigeria and good evening to everybody on the program. Firstly, I must point out it's been absolutely phenomenal for Osimhen. He's done an amazing job. When he came in September, when Icardi got injured and Galatasaray were looking for an alternative, they didn't just get an alternative. What they've got is a championship-winning man who contributed immensely and who contributed unbelievably. You know, he scored 36 goals and 25 of them have been in the league. And not only did he come in and score goals, he actually came in and it was like he was always playing for Galatasaray. You know, he brought that feeling in and he's done a good job on the field. His athleticism, his energy, his aura to the whole club, and he's settled in really, really well. And I think he's done an amazing job. And it's not easy to come into to Turkey and, you know, to do these kind of jobs. But one thing for sure, in the past, what we have seen is we had players like Daniel Amokachi, we had players like JJ Okocha, we had players like Uche, Emmanuel Emenike at Fenerbahce. But finally, Galatasaray have seemed to find a Nigerian who made history for the club. And now let's see what's going to happen next, because it's not going to be easy to keep hold of him. But one thing for sure, if he was to go on loan again, I'm sure Victor's first choice will be Istanbul. And he felt happy here. You could see that, you know, in his performance every weekend, in and out. He just put a great performance in, blended in really, really well, loved by the fans. What a remarkable story for Victor this season.
Well, Kazim, you have a question for Koray?
Oh, well, what can I say? Because he said he will be looking forward to Victor signing on loan again. We don't want that. We want the guy to, I mean, will you say, to be honest, will you say Victor is bigger than the Turkish league, with all due respect? As a neutral person, if you can just be neutral for a couple of seconds, will you say Victor should be playing in the bigger league than Turkey right now?
I think everybody agrees to this. You know, he's a top striker. He's got. I'm sure he will have clubs after him in England, in Italy, in Spain, in any part of the world. I'm sure everyone will be welcoming Victor. But you know, sometimes player has to be happy. So this is another key to success. Obviously, I can imagine, you know, clubs like Manchester United coming in for him. Chelsea might be coming in for him. You know, even some of the biggest clubs in other leagues. But you know, the player's happy here. Can it work? Financially, it will be a difficult one for Turkish football for sure. But I'm sure it will be a dream for all the Gala fans. But regardless of whatever, you know, whether he stays here or not, one thing is for sure: he's made history at Gala.
Absolutely. I mean, he was breaking the records by the legendary Mario Jardel. I mean, those are records that everybody thought would never be broken. You have a question for our guest?
Yeah, Korea. You are in Istanbul, and we heard over the weekend that Galatasaray, the hierarchy, they are making frantic efforts, you know, using the fans, you know, giving some incentives. The last we heard was about 30%. That's in farewell testimonials. You know, so why are they going to that extent? What is the incentive that they are presenting to Victor Osimhen, since you are there in Istanbul?
I mean, I'm originally from London. I had lived in London for a long time. I'm originally from Turkey. I'm Turkish, but I lived in London for a long time. Hence, you can probably tell from my accent.
Absolutely.
I worked at Besiktas for 4 years as a chief scout, and then, you know, 9-10 years ago, my own career started and I started managing in Turkey. I've mainly worked in Championship level, which is one league below Super League. But one thing for sure, the incentive for Osimhen is the fans, is the love. You know, like I said, and I'm underlining it again. A player has to be happy in order to get the results, to get the goals, and he's very happy here. He's loved by the fans. I mean, financially, in terms of salary, Gala, Fener, Beşiktaş, these are big clubs. They can match anyone. I'm talking, from the likes of Real Madrid to Man United to Manchester City. In terms of salary, this would not be a problem. But the problem would be is the transfer fee. And this is where he's going to struggle, because I can't imagine Napoli asking for anything less than £60 million for that matter. So the only incentive that Gala can put on the table is the love and is the respect that he got shown here, and and financially, like I said, salary wise, it's not a problem by any of the not any of the Turkish clubs, but by the big three clubs. It's not a problem at all. They can match that salary that anyone can give him. But the transfer fee will be out of reach for Gala. There was a lot of speculation during the season to see if they can actually come up with a formula, if you like, to keep him here. But I can't see that formula being finalised.
So Gala's biggest playing card in this, their joker, would be emotional blackmail. That the fans love him, he has a home, he's comfortable, he's respected. Now, why don't you stay? I kind of agree with you. At the end of the day, sometimes it's not really about money. It's really about where you're loved, where you're respected, and where you can find, you can truly be at home. And if he continues in this vein, I wouldn't be surprised. If he does stay, there is a possibility that Gala might actually build a statue of Victor Osimhen outside the Sukru Sarakoglu Stadium. But Koray Palaz, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Once again, you've been informative and broken down Victor Osimhen's Turkish surgeon for us. All I can say, I wish him the very best. I wish him the very best. Whether he stays in Gala or he moves onwards, I wish him the very best. But thank you so much for the time.
Likewise, I think this season, maybe Gala fans will remember it as the Victor Osimhen season. So maybe the season will be renamed as Victor Osimhen season. So I think a lot of respect, and I think one thing what we did see him in also is the amount of respect that he got from opponents as well. And if you come in with a good attitude, good caliber, I think he's done a tremendous job here. Hats off to the guy, and I also wish him the best. He blended in really, really well with Turkey. So all the best to Victor, and all the best to you guys.
Thank you very much, Koray. Well, we'll be reaching out to you subsequently, but have a pleasant evening.